Made in Hollywood.
The romantic drama It Ends With Us, starring Blake Lively, is made in Hollywood.
Entertainment industry is beautiful and it's light and it can be fluffy, but there's also something important in there in seeing things on screen.
Made in Hollywood.
Also on today's show, we experience a musical genre mashup that only director M. Night Shyamalan could deliver with the heart-pounding thriller, Trap.
Concert stuff was incredible because I learned a different type of storytelling.
Plus, we look at the climactic final season of The Umbrella Academy. Billy Magnuson and Peter Sarsgaard match wits in the dark comedy Coup, and the horror thriller #AmFat, All My Friends Are Dead, features Jade Pettijohn. This week on Made in Hollywood.
Made in Hollywood.
Based on the best-selling novel, a young woman must overcome her traumatic past to build a hopeful future in the romantic drama It Ends With Us, starring Blake Lively.
Hey, Lily, you want to do the honors?
No, you go ahead. I need to take it in from here.
I was hoping you'd say that, okay? Oh my God.
It Ends With Us is about ending the cycle. Unfortunately, some people, rather than healing from their childhood trauma, will face the similar situations later in life. Why would you say Lily's character arc is so significant and empowering because of that?
Entertainment industry is beautiful and it's light and it can be fluffy, but there's also something important in there in seeing things on screen in order to see them in your real life. And I think that I know for me as a fan and an audience member, I've seen people do things on screen and I thought, oh, I could do that.
I feel like as a reader, when I first read it, you also fall in love with the characters and all of them. And then when you have to kind of separate yourself as well while Lily's going through it firsthand, it's such an intimate experience.
We all have an idea of what love can be.
I want to see you again.
Now you see me.
You know what I mean.
We went into almost every creative decision, not only thinking about what would be best for the film, but how the fans would interpret it.
I just remember just thinking to myself, if we could find a way to bring this book to life, it could change people's lives.
Sadly, what she's gone through is very relatable to a lot of people, and being able to see how she overcomes that and how she puts herself and her daughter first is very inspiring and empowering, and it's exactly what my mother did for us.
But 15 seconds, that's all it takes.
I actually read It Ends With Us last year, but I was holding off on reading the sequel until last week. I read it in a day. And I'm curious, did you use the sequel as a resource for developing Atlas as well?
No, actually, I haven't read the sequel, to be honest with you. Yeah, it takes place after the events of the film, so I just didn't feel like it was relevant, if that makes sense.
Atlas.
Lily Bloom. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Boston?
I opened my flower shop.
I still remember the day I saw you in the window.
Everybody is dealing with something behind the scenes. As perfect and put together as everybody seems on TikTok and social media and in life, we're all fighting internal battles that nobody knows about. We're all struggling with something.
Seeing Lily experience what she experiences and navigate it the way she does. I mean, I hate the word inspiring because I think it's a little overly earnest, but it is.
I hope that they take away from the film that someone like Lily or like them can change their life.
I really hope they take away exactly what readers have taken away from the book, and I feel like that is hope.
We break the pattern. Or the pattern breaks us.
Here's what's hot on screen. A serial killer becomes ensnared in a deadly game of cat and mouse as director M. Night Shyamalan crafts a concert-going experience like never before in the thriller Trap.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay, Dad.
It was an unusual birthing process for the movie because it was more of a kind of a challenge, like a conceit of Salika, my daughter, and I talking about how to aim an album towards a narrative, because the concert experience and theatrical experience are similar, and it's an audience thing, and could we put those together? And You know, I was encouraged by seeing movies like Star is Born or other movies where I was engulfed in the music at moments, and say, could we do a whole movie like that and make it a thriller?
What's with all the police everywhere? I'm not supposed to tell. You know the butcher? The freaking nut job that goes around chopping people up? The feds heard that he's gonna be here today. So they set up a trap for him.
It was an amazing experience with Josh. I mean, we're very, very similar and we're very close. I think partly, you know, it might be in some ways that we both kind of had early success in our 20s and then chose to live outside of Hollywood. There's a lot of kind of interesting things that bond us. And the way I choose to make movies really excite him. I make them smaller with high risk and really complicated characters and new tones, and there's not a lot of frills when you make a movie with me. You're coming and we're all just going for it.
This individual that we're searching for won't panic.
I wrote Lady Raven, the character, as a kind of a version of Salika, but kind of as she would tell you, kind of a more outgoing, extroverted version of herself. And she said she would tell you, I'm writing what I wish she was, that she would be more extroverted and be, you know, more relaxed and fun, you know, that kind of thing. But that's not true. It's a fictional character. I love Salika the way she is.
What's happening?
I think you're looking for me. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Sorry.
Concert stuff was incredible because I learned a different type of storytelling in that, you know, giving so much love to the element that's behind the story is really rewarding, and it really enriches everything and has ramifications that you can't foresee. The lighting and the movement and the way the audience is reacting and cheering around Josh with the light on his face, those all come to play out and give this kind of very similar to what you're watching.
Enjoy the rest of the concert.
Coming up, we sit down with the cast of the Umbrella Academy for their thrilling 4th and final season. To find out where to watch any movie, check out Moviephone.com. Find it, watch it.
If you get one gig like this your entire career where it hits all the boxes like this one has, then I think you're very lucky.
Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood.
Now available on your home screen. A ragtag family of former superheroes reunite one last time in hopes of finally setting things right in the climactic 4th and final season of the Umbrella Academy.
Hello? Don't hang up. Victor.
Ben, just listen. There's something happening to you. And it's only gonna get worse.
You're on pace to end the world in about 48 hours.
24, actually. The screenplays for this season, I recognized straight off the bat, they were, across the board, they were much more comedic. They never lost the deeper meaning of what the show is all about.
We don't receive them all at once, but there is a pitch meeting where they'll talk about arcs, so at least you know where you're going and you can lay the foundation for your path.
The world we live in is one big phony baloney lie.
I trust the writers and I trust Steve Blackman and where they want to take the characters. And, you know, Steve had already given me a little bit of a bullet point, a journey for Diego.
So the world's ending again, huh?
Our heroes are left without powers, which is something I think they thought they always wanted. And season 4 starts off where the life as being sort of quote unquote ordinary is not turning out the way they wanted.
It's about 4 or 5 years later, and they've all cobbled together sort of civilian lives. And of course, they're struggling to do that because they don't know how to do that.
Everyone is sort of finding a new normal without their powers and trying to figure out how to start their lives in this new place and in this new timeline.
We need to fix this. Okay, can any one of you remember how Ben actually died?
Ben died because we failed as a team.
And what?
If you get one gig like this your entire career where it hits all the boxes like this one has, then I think you're very lucky.
I've loved working with this cast and I've absolutely adored being part of this show. It's been a dream come true.
Just to have that sort of excitement every day was really a blessing, and so I'm gonna miss that quite a bit. Yeah.
I'm gonna miss the fight coordinators, the stunt coordinators, the grips, the cinematographers, everyone.
It's been a really great run with them, and I think we truly all really do like each other. I'm very sad that I won't get to do this with them again.
Now is the time for sacrifice!
We're gonna do this thing.
Steve's just been the best. Like, his ability to collaborate and give us freedom as actors has been, I think, one of the best things about the experience, really.
His whole life is writing these characters, and he cares about it so much that it makes it easy for us to care about these characters.
The challenges were really that I wanted to, be as true to the fans as I could, give me an ending that I thought they would like, just making it feel like we had a little bit of everything, and that the ending would make the fans feel like it was a worthy ending.
I wouldn't miss what's coming for the world.
To find out where to watch any movie, check out MoviePhone.com. Find it, watch it. Up next, Billy Magnuson and Peter Sarsgaard go head-to-head in the dark comedy Coup, and Jade Pettijohn tries to survive the horror thriller #AmFed, All My Friends Are Dead.
Social media plays a huge role in the overall communication and theme of this film.
Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood.
An entitled journalist and a mysterious cook engage in a high-stakes game of class warfare in the dark comedy Coup, featuring Billy Magnuson and Peter Sarsgaard.
Do you have servants? Well, you are one.
Mr. Horton's dedicated his life to fighting for us workers.
This epidemic is decimating our nation.
We always saw this is not a pandemic film. It takes place during the Spanish flu, but it's not a Spanish flu film either. We saw that as more of the shipwreck that gets our characters marooned on a deserted island. And what happens to this upstairs-downstairs relationship between master and servant?
Obviously, it's parallels with our pandemic. There's a pandemic and a pandemic, but it's like the class warfare.
I'm Floyd Monk.
You were meant to arrive yesterday.
I woke up in hell, and here I am in paradise.
The quality of the humor, the tone of the whole thing, it was like really original.
We wanted to see the humor, as painful as it was, in what the pandemic revealed about class more generally in American society.
We don't believe in taking life of any kind.
And boss wants to eat leaves. That's his right. I just don't see why we can't eat meat.
Austin Joy wrote a script that I felt was kind of relevant. Yes, the COVID thing had the whole thing with the pandemic, but exploring hypocrisy and that hypocrisy of saying what you do rather than showing what you do.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's like very easy to, I do this all the time. I'm as guilty as anybody where I'm just like, this is wrong with the world and that's wrong with the world. And I might tell some people, I might even get on my social media and say bad. But so many of us are so far removed from the struggles of everyday life, and we're out of it. And yet we have all these ideas and pontificate about the way that things should be. And that was really something worth talking about.
We only got a couple of days' produce left in that garden.
Our children need to eat. We all do.
You wouldn't have to dirty your own hands.
There will be no taking of any life in this house.
We were thinking a lot about Peter Sarsgaard while we were writing the script. He has this cerebral intensity that we felt would work very well for the character. You don't normally get to see him play these types of characters.
I just started thinking about what it meant to be a guy who was quote unquote living rough during that time. I actually thought this was a guy who had probably seen more of the world than most of the people around him.
Once we got to know Floyd while we were writing, he just spoke to us. And he would make us laugh. And that's how we'd write.
You ain't cut out for this here world.
Get out of my house!
Now streaming on demand. A group of social media-obsessed college students discover that terror is trending in the horror thriller #AmFed, All My Friends Are Dead, featuring Jade Pettijohn.
story follows a group of close college friends who are doing this road trip to get to this music festival called Karmapalooza. And their plans sort of get put to the side where they end up having to go to this Airbnb in which all of them are getting killed off one by one.
Okay.
I am a huge fan of the horror genre because it feels like it just has a totally different set of challenges that I wanted to take on.
I read the screenplay by Josh Sims and Jessica Sarah-Flom. There were voices and characters here in a murder mystery with a twist that had heart, and I thought, I want to jump in and see if I can protect this heart.
Who the fuck am I? Why are you doing this?
When I was originally reading this script, I was really surprised by the fact that I wasn't able to predict where it was going.
And remember, if you get stabbed, don't post anything about it. Victims are so played out.
Marcus is such a fearless leader and he has such a beautiful vision, but the thing that was so wonderful is he is one of the most generous directors I've ever worked with.
Jade is one of those miracles who, in her early 20s, already has mysteriously 15 years of experience. And wouldn't you know, Jade Pettyjohn and JoJo Siwa acted together in the School of Rock television show, and to see that same thing could instantly join the alchemy and see it instantly fuse with an old friendship with these young two souls was electricity. That was voltage.
Social media plays a huge role in the overall communication and theme of this film. Social media can be great, right? But I think that what our film explores is sort of the more dramatic element of it, of like what it does to the people that you love and yourself, and like how it changes the way you interact with people.
I loved that there was something ancient that was guiding the reasons for some of the terror sequences to happen. These characters are asking for it. The new coat of paint is they're asking for it to anyone. They're holding up their little black windows and saying, come on in.
Stay tuned, there's more coming up on Made in Hollywood.
Made in Hollywood.
Thanks for watching Made in Hollywood, powered by MoviePhone. For more behind-the-screen content, check out MoviePhone.com.
Made in Hollywood.